Um, to be seen, really. Just waiting to be shown,
Yeah,
really.
awesome. Okay, so you have me to show you
Of course.
what happens. So the only reason a cow produces milk is because she is a mother.
Really? Yeah.
She then carries her baby for 9 months, just like we would. And if her baby is a boy, the baby is taken from her. So it's called newborn separation, it's called snatching. So they then get taken to the slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
The mothers are running after her baby because they're very maternal. Just like we are as humans, like if someone stole our baby, we would do everything to protect our baby.
That's
Now this is
heartbreaking.
the slaughterhouse, yeah. He knows exactly what's going to happen next. So this is the electric prongs they use to stun them.
Like taser.
Yeah, but you see they go right into
Yeah.
their head. And how much pain they'd be in just from that. This one's trying to escape because they know what's happening. And then afterwards, they get put on here, a knife across their throat, and then hung up by one leg. So these two here are still feeling, they're still alive at this point.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah. And then the cow here, this is called a spent dairy cow. So year after year, she has baby after baby taken away from her until she can no longer stand up because she is so exhausted from all the milk being sucked from her, constantly being pregnant, and she can no longer stand up. So she then gets sent to the slaughterhouse.
It is horrific.
You
Barbaric
see her,
almost.
see her eyes, and they're literally just hacking at her neck.
You can see her throat.
How does it make you feel seeing this?
It's disgusting, honestly.
If we view animals as products, then there'll always be exploitation, and then there'll always be killing as well.
Of course.
This is farrowing crates in the UK. They still use farrowing crates for pigs. Have you seen this before?
No.
So this is where mothers go to give birth.
Yeah.
They roll onto the pigs accidentally. They see their piglets dying, and they can't even get to their own babies. They can't even stand up or turn around.
Wow.
And they'll be in these farrowing crates for about 6 to 8 weeks at a time.
Oh.
This is called knocking. If a pig isn't growing quick enough, they pull them up from the back legs like you saw and smash their head on the floor. And they give it the word knocking, so it's kind of covered up. And then just a bin full of pigs.
Getting rid of the teeth so they don't.
Bite each other, and the tails so they can't bite them.
Ouch.
Or without anaesthetic, just snip off. When they get to 6 months old, and do you know how they kill pigs in the UK?
No.
In the gas chamber,
Oh wow.
which you'll see in a minute. And like you said, they're no different to dogs. They're no different to cats or you and I.
All animals are pretty much similar in that state. Not in that state, in that
We all
Way.
feel pain. We all
everything.
have a desire
feels
to
pain.
live. Yeah. This is the gas chamber. Absolutely horrific. Can you imagine the suffering going on in there for a bacon sandwich? But if there were dogs in this position, like people would be going mad.
The majority of people would go mad.
So they're still
Blood
alive.
spattering against
Yeah.
the wall.
They're still alive at this point. So they get, it's meant to stun them in the gas chamber, but it takes 15 seconds for them to regain consciousness, and then they have their throat cut. You don't see it in that bit, but they also get dunked into boiling water, and most of them are still conscious at that point as well. That's to try and remove their hairs from their body. Do you think there's any justification for this?
Not for a bacon wrap.
It's not their fault they've been born into the body they've been born into.
I'm in the cooking industry. I need to know what's happening realistically. Obviously, it's not going to change. Well, it might change the majority of people, but there are still going to be people out there who want to eat. And if I'm going to be cooking for them, I need to at least be aware of what's happening and not just being blind, almost.
Yeah, I think not being blind is the key thing because it's easy to see a product in a supermarket. It's easy to see like a chicken breast and go, oh yeah, that's food for tonight.
It's easy
But-
to see products as products, but
And
when you
not
see them
as
as animals, at least you know. I'm very much against waste, personally.
So everything you've seen, are you against everything you've seen so far? And would you say you're against animal abuse and
I'm definitely against animal abuse
Yeah.
and animal like
Okay.
torture almost. This
Yeah,
is.
it is. Yeah, it is torture. You're right. Absolute
I'm
torture.
completely against that.
Yeah. So do you understand that the only reason this happens is because of supply and demand?
Of course, people buy from the cheapest supplier. The cheapest suppliers are the ones who do it in bulk and in the most efficient way.
They do it in a way, but it's a horrific
from
way,
a
right?
from a product standpoint, this is the most efficient way. From an ethical point of view, this is not right.
Yeah, because there could be humans in here, and you could say, oh, that's efficient to kill in gas chambers. That's why.
Exactly.
That's why Hitler
it's
did.
very efficient. It's not right, but it's extremely
Yeah.
efficient for the amount you can do.
And that's exactly why Hitler did that. But if we stopped paying, well, I have now, but if everyone stops paying for this to happen, they won't breed these animals into existence anymore to do this to them, because they're only doing it for money,
Of
right?
course.
Everything is driven from money. So if the demand for vegan products goes up and animal products goes down, well, they're not products, but animals, then they'll go, oh, we'll stop forcibly breeding these animals into existence and killing them. We'll go to a plant-based food system instead, or we'll stop experimenting on animals because people are ethically against it. What would stop you?
What would stop me is
What would stop you paying into any of these industries again and just being vegan?
That's a difficult question, honestly.
I think it's quite simple.
Not
Because
for me.
you're against it yourself, right?
I am, yes.
And is there any justification to do this to them?
There's no justification for a single person.
So in your heart, you're vegan.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just aligning your actions with your heart, right?
Yeah.
And
I know I can. I know I could if I really desperately wanted to.
If you were in the animal's position, who really desperately doesn't want to go into the gas chamber or be hung upside down like this, what would you say to someone like you? Would you say, like, please just stop paying for this right now? Or would you say, like, it's okay to go do it slowly, or I don't know if I can?
Make it as quick and painless as possible. Just let it end. Just quick, painless, gone.
What about if you didn't have to go through any of that and didn't have to be killed at all?
But then in that case, I wouldn't, not me, but they wouldn't be born in the first place.
Yeah, but like chickens, for example, are 42 days old, whole life of suffering, like you saw, broken legs. I think it's better not to be born at all, to experience any of that pain, than to have just not been born, because then you wouldn't have known it.
Probably.
Yeah. I'll leave you with that thought anyway, because it's a lot to take in, and I think you're really brave watching it. And I know earlier you said, whoa, like, you can't ever explain how bad it is without actually seeing it. So I really appreciate your time sitting down. And yeah, I gave you one, didn't I?
Yes.
Give you a card. Check out the information on the card. If you've got any questions as well, there's a vegan challenge called Challenge 22. If you're against this and you think it's wrong, then in your heart, you're vegan. But you just got to align your actions right. It takes 22 days to create a new habit, and that's all it is, just creating a new habit,
Of course.
keeping the animals in mind, and thinking, all right, I want to buy cow's milk, and then suddenly going, oh my gosh, the image of the baby boys in that slaughterhouse, that's like the best practice as well, RSPCA approved. So there's no good way to do the wrong thing, and then you just move your hand to the plant milk.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that for us.
I think little actions make a big difference. If we little by little changed little things, like instead of we going from normal milk, we go for almond milk, coconut milk, oat milk.
What about if you were the victim though? Would you say little change is okay? Like, also, this is an injustice what's happening to the animals, right?
Definitely.
And if I put another injustice, just for an analogy, I know they're not the same injustice.
No, I'm
but
listening.
if I said, I'm against racism, but I'm racist in my everyday life, so I'm going to start cutting out, or on a Tuesday I won't be racist, or on a Wednesday I might be. Like, or would you say, no, if you're against racism, you just stop?
I think personally, if you're a religious racist, you know, you're racist day in, day out, and you're like, this is getting to be a bit of a problem, I'm gonna stop being racist on a Tuesday. I feel like that is a start, and then when you are not being racist on a Tuesday, you can be like, all right, I'm doing this. I can
But
now
do you
not be
think-
racist on a Wednesday and a Tuesday.
Do you
Like,
think
it's a step.
better though to just go, I'm just not going to be racist because I'm morally against that?
But some people are stuck in their ways.
Some people are, but I think it's like an excuse. I think it's very easy to not pay for animal products. It's actually a non-action, right? I wake up and I don't think, I'm vegan today, so I just don't pay into these industries, I dodge them. It's a lot easier than you think. It may feel scary because it's like what you've always known, and I understand that. And that was the same with us. We saw this, we went vegan on the spot, didn't know how to be vegan, so we just ate beans on toast for a week until we figured it out. Because morally I can't ever pay into this industry again because I'm so against it. And I could never look into a little baby chick's eyes and go, sorry, I want an egg.
All the men ground up into a fleshy paste. This is what I described in an English speaking exam in front of a whole class.
Awesome! So you're already an activist.
Well, yeah. And that's why I'm working in a vegan restaurant, to try and convince the rest of the place, to convince everyone else to try and be more vegan, have better food for vegans.
That's really good.
However, if no one else is going to change from that, then all the prices aren't going to go down because of course, supply and demand.
But good people will change because people are naturally against this, right? We all come into the world vegan and then we're brainwashed and we don't see this. It's easy to buy an egg, but it's hard to watch this and realise what you're paying for.
They're just sticking the chickens' heads in the...
They're debeaking
conveyor.
them.
Oh, right. That.
Yeah.
Yep. No. Yep. That.
So you're actually advocating for veganism, but you're not vegan yourself, which is very interesting. But now you've seen it, right? You've seen all this, so now you're really accountable for your actions.
Yes.
Yeah, and surely a message from somebody who is aligning their own actions is a more powerful message than someone who tells someone and doesn't actually do it themselves.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate you sitting down, and I think you've got a lot to think about. Just remember that every single day that you're not vegan, even trying, it's not going to be good enough for the victims, because if you were the victim, say stop, like just stop hurting and abusing you, because that's wrong.
Yeah.
So just every time you see a chicken breast or an egg or cow's milk, put your mind back to these images and go, no, I'm against that. I'm just going to move my hand to the other thing. Get vegan eggs, get vegan chicken.
I'll definitely, no matter what I decide to do in the future, I'll definitely, if I go and buy into the supermarket and consider buying it, I will definitely be thinking about these videos before I buy it, and then weighing up.
And hopefully not, yeah.
Because I can't say I won't. I can't say I definitely won't, because that's not honest. That's not,
Yeah.
But I will definitely think of these videos before doing anything.
And put yourself in their position.
Of course.
Yeah. And just remember that the only reason they do this to animals is because people are paying for them to do this to animals, and they will stop when people stop paying for it, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much for sitting and chatting. And yeah, check out that card with the documentaries on there. There's a lot of educational things on there, all peer reviewed, so nothing sponsored. It's not biased, it's just peer reviewed studies.
Of course.
And yeah, if we can do better, we should, right?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
And enjoy work. I hope it goes fast.
Brilliant.
He was like a really nice guy actually. So he actually works in a vegan restaurant. And he said to me before we started filming that I showed him a bit of the dairy industry, and he said you could never be told how bad it is without seeing the footage, which I 100% agree with, because you can't explain how awful it is. And even though he said he can't guarantee he's going to go vegan, I think he was quite affected by it. And even then he was asking like, so what can I eat next? What can I eat? And his mind's very much into it, so you never know, he might go home and something might just click, but it's another seed, isn't it? Another seed, so there's hope. I've been thinking about it.